Introduction. In the serene and picturesque town of Willowbrook, where the days meandered lazily amidst rolling hills and thickets of verdant foliage, lived a young woman named Emily. To the casual observer, Emily might have appeared as unremarkable as the quaint town she called home. Her life was one of quiet routines, where the sunrises and sunsets marked the passage of time, and where the town's library, a sanctuary of knowledge and solitude, served as the epicenter of her existence. Emily, with her chestnut hair cascading like a silken waterfall, was known to the townsfolk as a diligent and unassuming librarian. Her days were spent tending to shelves filled with volumes of literature, her nimble fingers dusting off the cobwebs of forgotten tales, and her gentle voice guiding patrons to the treasures hidden within the pages of books. Willowbrook's library was her sanctuary, a realm where the boundaries of time and space seemed to blur, where the whispers of ancient authors and the dreams of countless readers coalesced into a timeless symphony. But beneath the unassuming exterior of this young librarian lay an insatiable curiosity, an ember of intellect that smoldered quietly within her soul. She was not content with merely cataloguing the wisdom of others, she hungered for her own journey through the corridors of knowledge. Little did Emily know that her longing for discovery was about to thrust her into a captivating odyssey, an enigmatic tale that would blur the lines between reality and fiction, between the known and the mysterious. It all began on a crisp and golden morning in the heart of autumn, when the leaves whispered secrets in the wind and the town of Willowbrook bathed in the soft, golden light of dawn. It was on this fateful day that Emily's life took an unexpected turn, setting in motion a sequence of events that would challenge her perceptions of reality and ignite her spirit of inquiry as never before. As she walked to work, a routine she had repeated countless times, her path took an unforeseen twist. Nestled amidst the dew-kissed grass at the edge of the road lay a solitary object, its presence a subtle invitation to the unknown. Emily's curious gaze locked onto the time-worn book, its cover aged by the years, and a mysterious aura emanating from its pages. The title, The Enigma of Time, was embossed in faded gold letters, and for a brief moment, it seemed as if the world held its breath, awaiting her decision. With a sense of intrigue and adventure stirring within her, Emily reached down and retrieved the book, its pages whispering promises of secrets yet to be unveiled. Little did she realize that this simple act would lead her down a labyrinthine path, where the boundaries of reality and imagination would blur, where the past and future would entwine, and where the true essence of time itself would be laid bare. The story that unfolds is one of wonder and trepidation, of exploration and revelation. It is a tale that will challenge the very fabric of Emily's existence, pushing her to the limits of her understanding and forcing her to grapple with questions that have tantalized humanity for centuries. As we embark on this journey with Emily, we will witness the convergence of the ordinary and the extraordinary, the merging of the known and the uncharted, and the unveiling of the enigma that is time itself. So, dear reader, let us step into the world of Willowbrook, where the pages of Emily's story are about to turn, and where the boundaries of reality and imagination are about to blur in a captivating tale that unfolds in 8 chapters of discovery and revelation.
Chapter 1: The Encounter. In the quaint town of Willowbrook, where the rhythm of life flowed with the gentle cadence of seasons, Emily's mornings usually began with a serene walk to the library. Her route took her along tree-lined streets, past cozy cottages with picket fences, and beneath the dappled canopy of ancient oaks. It was a journey she had traversed countless times, each step a familiar echo of the last. On this particular autumn morning, the air was crisp, and a kaleidoscope of leaves adorned the path like nature's own artwork. The town's residents had already begun their daily routines, and the distant chatter of children on their way to school added to the harmonious hum of the town. As Emily strolled along, a gentle breeze ruffled her chestnut hair, and the earthy scent of fallen leaves filled her nostrils. The golden hues of the sunrise cast long shadows, painting the world in a warm, ethereal glow. It was amidst this tranquil backdrop that Emily's attention was suddenly diverted. Her trained librarian's eye spotted an anomaly at the edge of the road, partially obscured by a tangle of withered vines. There, amidst the fallen leaves and the dew-kissed grass, lay an abandoned book. Beneath the layers of autumn detritus, the book's cover beckoned to her with a sense of quiet intrigue. It was an old, weathered tome, its pages stained with the passage of time, and its spine bearing the weight of countless readings. Yet, despite its apparent age, it seemed to possess an undeniable aura of mystery. The title, The Enigma of Time, was embossed in ornate, faded gold letters, and as Emily reached down to pick it up, she felt a subtle, almost imperceptible vibration pass through her fingertips. It was a moment suspended in time, a collision of curiosity and fate. Emily's heart quickened as she held the book in her hands, and for a brief instant, she felt as though the very fabric of her reality had shifted. She couldn't shake the feeling that this book held the key to something extraordinary, something beyond the everyday boundaries of her life in Willowbrook. With a sense of purpose, Emily decided to take the book with her, feeling a connection to it that she couldn't quite explain. She continued her walk to the library, the book cradled in her arms, its secrets hidden within its worn pages. Little did Emily know that this seemingly ordinary encounter would set in motion a chain of events that would lead her on a journey through time itself, unraveling the enigma that lay at the heart of the book and forever altering the course of her life in Willowbrook.
Chapter 2: The Mystery Unfolds. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and Willowbrook embraced the tranquility of twilight, Emily sat in her cozy reading nook, bathed in the warm glow of a table lamp. Beside her, on a small wooden table, rested the enigmatic book she had discovered earlier that day, The Enigma of Time. With a sense of anticipation and curiosity that danced in her eyes, Emily opened the book and began to read. The words on the pages drew her into a world where the ordinary and the extraordinary merged seamlessly. The Enigma of Time began with a captivating tale of a forgotten civilization that had mastered the art of time travel. The protagonist, Dr. Alexander Foster, was introduced as a brilliant scientist whose insatiable curiosity had led him to uncover the deepest secrets of time manipulation. As Emily turned the pages, the vivid descriptions and meticulous details of Dr. Foster's experiments unfolded before her eyes. She was transported to a world where time was not a linear concept, but a malleable substance, where past, present, and future could be accessed and manipulated by those who possessed the knowledge and the technology. Dr. Foster's journey was one of both scientific marvels and moral dilemmas, as his experiments with time travel revealed unforeseen consequences that challenged his understanding of the universe. Emily couldn't help but be captivated by the narrative. The book seemed to blur the lines between fact and fiction, and she found herself engrossed in its intricate storytelling. As the hours passed, She delved deeper into Dr. Foster's world, feeling a sense of kinship with the scientist's unquenchable thirst for knowledge and discovery. As she read on, Emily's mind began to race with questions. Was The Enigma of Time a work of pure fiction, or could it possibly be based on historical events? Could Dr. Foster's experiments with time travel have a basis in reality, or was this a product of an imaginative author's mind? Unable to resist the pull of curiosity, Emily decided that she needed to investigate further. She couldn't ignore the possibility that the story she was reading held the key to a hidden truth that could forever alter her understanding of the world. With determination in her heart, Emily set out on a quest to uncover the origins of the book and the mysteries it contained. Little did she know that this journey would lead her into uncharted territories of knowledge, where the boundaries between science and imagination would blur even further, and where the enigma of time would reveal itself in ways she could never have imagined.
Chapter 3: The Quest for Answers. Emily's quest for answers began with a trip to the heart of Willowbrook, the town's historical archives. It was a place steeped in the echoes of the past, where dusty manuscripts and forgotten photographs bore witness to the town's long and storied history. As she entered the archives, the scent of aged paper and the hushed whispers of bygone eras enveloped her. Her first task was to unearth any records related to Dr. Alexander Foster, the brilliant scientist at the center of The Enigma of Time. Emily spent countless hours poring over handwritten journals, faded newspapers, and meticulously kept ledgers. The rustle of paper and the soft creak of ancient shelves became the soundtrack of her search. Days turned into weeks as Emily delved deeper into the town's history, unearthing fragments of Dr. Foster's life. She discovered that he had indeed been a resident of Willowbrook over a century ago, and his presence in the town was not a creation of fiction but a part of its forgotten lore. One day, as she leafed through a particularly fragile journal entry, Emily stumbled upon a passage that sent shivers down her spine. It was an entry dated decades ago, written by a local historian who had documented the curious case of Dr. Alexander Foster. The journal entry recounted how Dr. Foster had been a reclusive scientist who had lived on the outskirts of Willowbrook. It described his groundbreaking experiments in the realm of temporal manipulation and the mysterious disappearance that had shrouded his final days in secrecy. The parallels between the journal entry and the book she had discovered were undeniable, and Emily's heart raced with excitement. Armed with this newfound knowledge, Emily realized that her quest had only just begun. She needed to dig deeper, to uncover the truth behind Dr. Foster's experiments and the enigma of time that had consumed his life. With a sense of determination burning in her chest, she decided to visit the site where Dr. Foster's laboratory had once stood, a place rumored to hold the key to the mysteries she sought to unravel. The journey to the abandoned laboratory, hidden deep within the dense forest on the outskirts of Willowbrook, would take Emily further into the heart of the enigma. She couldn't have known that the decaying structure held not only the remnants of Dr. Foster's work but also secrets that would challenge her understanding of the world and the very nature of time itself. As Emily ventured deeper into the quest for answers, the shadows of the past began to lengthen, and the mysteries of Dr. Foster's life and work grew more intricate.
Little did she realize that the truth she sought would lead her to the precipice of discovery, where the line between science and the supernatural blurred, and the boundaries of reality and fiction began to crumble.
Chapter 4: The Abandoned Laboratory. The journey to Dr. Alexander Foster's abandoned laboratory was a trek into the heart of the unknown. Emily felt a mixture of trepidation and anticipation as she followed a meandering path through the dense forest, guided only by her determination to uncover the secrets concealed within the decaying structure. The woods seemed to come alive with whispers as she ventured deeper into their heart. Shafts of sunlight pierced through the thick canopy, casting dappled patterns on the forest floor. The sound of her footsteps on the fallen leaves echoed like a solemn drumbeat, creating an eerie symphony with the rustling leaves and the distant chirping of birds. After what felt like hours, Emily stumbled upon the remains of Dr. Foster's laboratory. It was a place that time had forgotten, a crumbling edifice covered in ivy, with shattered windows and walls that bore the scars of years of neglect. Nature had reclaimed much of the building, its vines and roots intertwining with the remnants of scientific equipment and discarded notes. As Emily cautiously entered the dilapidated laboratory, a sense of history and purpose washed over her. The air was thick with the musty scent of decay, and the silence of the place seemed to amplify the weight of the mysteries that lay within. In one corner of the laboratory, Emily discovered a jumble of dusty old research notes, yellowed with age and barely legible. She carefully collected these fragments of Dr. Foster's work, recognizing the significance of the documents in her quest for answers. Piecing together the tattered pages, she began to unravel the story of the scientist's experiments. Dr. Foster's notes chronicled his groundbreaking research into time manipulation, replete with intricate diagrams and complex equations. The more Emily read, the clearer it became that his experiments were not flights of fancy but the product of a brilliant, albeit troubled, mind. Emily's heart raced as she delved deeper into the scientist's work. It was as if Dr. Foster had left behind a trail of breadcrumbs leading her further into the labyrinthine mysteries of time itself. Each diagram, each notation, hinted at the tantalizing possibility of unlocking the secrets of temporal manipulation. But as Emily immersed herself in Dr. Foster's work, she couldn't shake a growing sense of unease. The laboratory seemed to hold not only the promise of discovery but also a foreboding darkness, a sense that tampering with time had consequences beyond human comprehension. The remnants of the time machine itself, a complex contraption of gears, wires, and dials, stood as a silent witness to Dr. Foster's ambition and the shadows it had cast upon his life. It was a chilling reminder that the boundaries of scientific exploration often blurred into the realm of the unknown. As Emily continued to explore the laboratory, the mysteries deepened, and the shadows of the past seemed to come alive. The enigma of time, once an abstract concept, was now a palpable presence in the decaying laboratory. Emily knew that her journey had only just begun, and the choices she made in the coming chapters would have far-reaching consequences, both for herself and for the secrets of Dr. Foster's work that she was determined to unravel.
Chapter 5: The Time Machine. With every passing day, Emily's obsession with unraveling the enigma of time grew more intense. She had unearthed the remnants of Dr. Alexander Foster's laboratory, delved into his cryptic research notes, and now stood before the most enigmatic piece of his legacy, the time machine itself. The time machine was a complex and intricate contraption, a blend of Victorian-era engineering and mysterious, futuristic components. It stood as a testament to Dr. Foster's brilliance and his unquenchable thirst for knowledge. Its gears, cogs, and dials seemed to whisper secrets to Emily as she examined it, and the soft hum of its machinery echoed through the abandoned laboratory. For days, Emily had meticulously studied the machine's design and the notes she had recovered. It was a daunting task, akin to deciphering an ancient code, but her unwavering determination drove her forward. She knew that if she could restore the time machine to working order, it held the potential to unlock the mysteries of temporal manipulation. Emily spent sleepless nights carefully cleaning, repairing, and reassembling the various components of the machine. Every cogwheel and wire was a piece of the puzzle, and with each passing hour, the time machine began to take shape once more. Finally, the moment of truth arrived. With bated breath, Emily climbed into the machine's cockpit and hesitantly adjusted the dials. She had studied Dr. Foster's notes meticulously and had a rudimentary understanding of how the machine operated. It was a leap into the unknown, a journey through time that no human had ever undertaken. As the machine whirred to life, a sense of exhilaration coursed through Emily's veins. The laboratory around her seemed to blur, and she felt herself being transported to a different era. The sensation was unlike anything she had ever imagined, a kaleidoscope of colors and sounds, a disorienting rush through the corridors of time. When the whirlwind of temporal chaos subsided, Emily found herself in a place that defied comprehension. The world around her was both familiar and foreign. She had traveled back in time, witnessing a bygone era with her own eyes. As she explored this new world, she marveled at the sights and sounds of a time long gone. She witnessed historical events, encountered figures from the past, and even had the opportunity to interact with people whose stories she had only read about in books. But with every step she took, Emily became acutely aware of the weight of responsibility that rested on her shoulders. She knew that altering the past could have dire consequences, creating ripples that would echo through time itself. The choices she made in this strange new world could shape the course of history in ways she couldn't fully grasp. Emily had embarked on a journey through time, a journey filled with wonder and peril, discovery and danger. The time machine was both a gateway to the past and a Pandora's box of mysteries, and Emily was now faced with a series of choices that would test her resolve and challenge her understanding of the enigma of time.
Chapter 6: A Leap Through Time. Emily's journey through time was a mesmerizing yet bewildering experience. The moment she stepped out of the time machine into the past, she was enveloped by a world that defied all expectations. The sights, sounds, and sensations overwhelmed her senses as she ventured further into this unfamiliar era. The landscape had transformed before her eyes. In place of the familiar streets of Willowbrook, she now stood in a bustling town square of a bygone century. The architecture, clothing, and customs of the people around her were a testament to the historical accuracy of her surroundings. Emily marveled at the horse-drawn carriages, the gaslit street lamps, and the intricate period attire of the townsfolk. She observed with wide-eyed wonder as a group of women in elaborate gowns promenaded past her, their parasols shielding them from the bright sun. Conversations around her were filled with antiquated language and customs, and the air was heavy with the fragrant scent of floral gardens and the rhythmic clatter of cobblestone streets. With each step she took, Emily encountered aspects of this time that she had only read about in history books. She found herself standing on the precipice of pivotal moments, moments that had shaped the course of history. It was a delicate balance between observation and interaction, as she struggled to remain inconspicuous while absorbing the essence of the past. Emily's journey through time led her to encounters with historical figures she had admired from afar. She found herself conversing with poets, scientists, and artists, their words and ideas echoing through the ages. It was a surreal experience to stand in the presence of greatness, to witness the creation of art and the birth of revolutionary ideas. However, with the thrill of discovery came the weight of responsibility. Emily understood that her mere presence in the past could have unintended consequences. Every action she took, every word she spoke, had the potential to alter the timeline in profound ways. As she navigated this uncharted territory, Emily was faced with a series of moral dilemmas. Should she intervene in historical events to prevent tragedies, or should she remain a silent observer, respecting the flow of time? The choices she made would have far-reaching repercussions, and the consequences of her actions were impossible to predict. Emily's journey through time was a complex dance between curiosity and caution, discovery and dilemma. It was a leap into the annals of history, where the past and present converged in a tapestry of wonder and uncertainty. As she continued to explore this enigmatic world, she couldn't help but wonder if her presence in the past was part of a larger plan, a plan that would ultimately reveal the true nature of the Enigma of Time.
Chapter 7: The Consequences. As Emily continued her journey through time, the weight of her actions and their potential consequences weighed heavily on her mind. The past was a fragile tapestry, intricately woven together, and she was acutely aware that even the slightest alteration could unravel the course of history. Her encounters with historical figures and pivotal moments became increasingly complex. Emily found herself in the midst of moral quandaries, torn between her desire to make a positive impact on the past and her fear of irrevocably altering the timeline. One of her most challenging dilemmas occurred when she found herself in the company of a renowned scientist whose groundbreaking work had the potential to shape the future of technology. Emily possessed knowledge from her own time that could have accelerated the scientist's discoveries, ushering in a new era of scientific advancement. However, she grappled with the ethical implications of sharing this knowledge. Would her interference disrupt the natural progression of scientific development? Could it have unintended consequences, such as altering the balance of power or causing unforeseen catastrophes? Emily's choices were not limited to science alone. She also witnessed moments of human suffering and tragedy. At times, she was tempted to intervene, to prevent accidents or alleviate suffering. Yet, she questioned whether such interventions would create a butterfly effect, potentially leading to different, and perhaps equally dire, outcomes. The further Emily ventured into the past, the more she realized that the Enigma of Time was not merely a scientific puzzle but a moral one as well. It forced her to confront profound questions about the nature of free will, fate, and the interconnectedness of all events throughout history. Throughout her journey, Emily was guided by a sense of responsibility and a commitment to preserving the integrity of the timeline. She became a silent observer, choosing to document the events she witnessed without direct interference. Her role shifted from one of active participation to that of a historian, carefully recording the past as it unfolded. As Emily approached the culmination of her time-traveling adventure, she couldn't help but reflect on the choices she had made and the profound lessons she had learned. The consequences of her actions, both intended and unintended, had left an indelible mark on her understanding of time and human agency. The enigma of time, it seemed, was not solely a matter of science and technology. It was a reflection of the intricate web of human decisions, actions, and their far-reaching effects on the course of history. Emily's journey had taken her to the heart of this enigma, where the boundaries between observer and participant, past and present, had blurred, revealing the timeless mysteries of existence.
Chapter 8: The Return. Emily's odyssey through time had led her on a profound and transformative journey, one that had challenged her perceptions of reality and the very nature of existence. As she approached the end of her adventure, she couldn't help but reflect on the lessons she had learned and the enigma of time that had unraveled before her. With a sense of trepidation and a heart heavy with the weight of her experiences, Emily made the decision to return to her own time. She knew that her place was in the present, in the quiet town of Willowbrook that she had called home. But the echoes of the past would forever resonate within her. Stepping back into the time machine, Emily set the coordinates for her return. The familiar hum of the machine enveloped her, and she felt the sensation of being pulled through the corridors of time once more. The world around her swirled in a kaleidoscope of colors and sounds, and the boundaries between past and present began to blur. When the temporal chaos subsided, Emily found herself back in Willowbrook, standing on the same path where she had first discovered the enigmatic book. The town had not changed, but Emily herself was profoundly different. She had journeyed through time and had been forever marked by the experience. As she emerged from the time machine, Emily felt a sense of gratitude for the present moment. The quiet streets of Willowbrook, the rustling leaves, and the familiar faces of her fellow townsfolk all held a newfound beauty and significance. She had come to realize that the true enigma of time lay in the simplicity of the everyday, in the moments that comprised the tapestry of her life. Emily returned to her role as the town's librarian, but she carried with her the memories and lessons of her time-traveling adventure. The books she had read, the historical figures she had encountered, and the moral dilemmas she had faced had enriched her understanding of the world and her place in it. She shared her experiences with those she trusted, using the knowledge she had gained to inspire curiosity and wonder in others. The stories she told were met with both skepticism and fascination, but Emily knew that some mysteries were meant to remain unspoken, hidden within the pages of her memory. In the quiet town of Willowbrook, the pages of Emily's own story continued to be written. She had returned from her time-traveling odyssey with a deeper appreciation for the present, a profound respect for the past, and a sense of wonder that would stay with her for a lifetime. The enigma of time, with all its complexities and mysteries, had left an indelible mark on her soul, reminding her that the true adventure was not in the past or the future, but in the here and now.